This time I've got an apple, and the apple's on a complex background. And the goal with this one is just to quickly put down colors and not think overly much about messing around with it a lot. And so this time I'm going to use a spray bottle, and I'm going to wet my whole palette of watercolors. They're the pan watercolors. And I'm going to do that so I can kind of quickly pick up what I need. And have a paper towel in my hand so I can clean my brush as I need to go. So let's see, this time, since I'm wanting to keep this really quick, I'm gonna actually start with my apple rather than the background. So that's the reverse of what I did with the egg, if you saw that one. Okay, and I'm dripping water from my brush because it's got the water in the reservoir tip, or the reservoir barrel. Okay, and I'm creating the shape of the apple. I'm going to pay attention to the fact that this apple, again, I've got light coming from in front of it. Ideally, light would be coming from this direction with my shadow cast about around here. But my apple is primarily in shadow. That's okay. It's primarily because I've got the light in front of me. Okay, and I'm adding in a bit more color to darken it up. You can see it really starting to get kind of red there. Watercolors, it takes a little bit of practice to get accustomed to how the color is going to dry, because it's always going to look a little bit more rich and saturated when you've got it wet. When it dries, it's not going to be as intense. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe my brush off. I'm going to drip some water through it to clean the end of the tip. And then I'm going to start picking up some of these colors. So I had a student who put an apple on a really complicated tablecloth, and it was beautiful. And it was also a great example of how you can use color in painting. Okay, and so this color, okay, so see, if this happens, it just went straight into the apple. Not a problem. Just gonna come and pick it up like that. Watercolor is very forgiving, especially even if you've painted the whole thing and you're not happy with it, you can take it and run it underneath a stream of water. Okay, and so I'm not worried about painting this perfectly. I'm just trying to give the idea that this apple, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful as I get closer to the edge since this is wet, and I don't want it to bloom into the rest of the painting. Okay, doing some more drops of water. And it looks very abstract at first. And it is somewhat of an abstract surface for it to be sitting on anyway, but okay. And if you talk to yourself a little bit while you're painting, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that. Or maybe you're talking to your pet. Maybe your dog or cat are watching you while you're doing this. You can tell them how it's going. Are you frustrated? The main goal with this is just putting down color, because what you're doing is practicing getting ready for other types of painting where you're just responding quickly to what you're seeing and capturing it as rapidly as possible and not worrying about making the perfect edge or the perfect shape. And you can see I'm starting to get a lot of color on this. Okay, now I just need to bring in my pink. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of bleeding one color into another, and that's okay too. I don't mind that. And I was trying to go a little bit darker on the side where the shadow is, because rather than coming in and painting the shadows themselves over the color, I really just kind of wanted to indicate that this side is lighter and this side is darker. And I wanted to do that really right from the beginning. Okay, what I'm doing is I've actually got color on my paper towel, and I'm taking it and just lightly dabbing it behind the apple, because what I want to do is create the suggestion that this area behind the apple that's further away from me is lighter, it has less definition, there's not as much pattern as it continues to move back in space. And I still need to darken under my apple just a bit. This is pretty fun. Hopefully you find watercolor to be pretty relaxing. And if you make a mistake with it, if you don't like it, not a big deal. Turn around, do another one on the back side. Don't worry about these things being precious. Okay. So, ideally, with this one, I would let these colors dry a bit more. I'm going to turn it and you're going to see these things start to fall off, basically, but that's okay. So again, just a quick apple on a colored surface. And that's it.